Hello, good evening, everybody. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week. I have been quite busy this week, actually, and I got news for you in which kind of relates to our hot topic for this video.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Let's do our usual
How
thing.
is everyone doing?
Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week.
Use this one instead for a second. Sorry, I'm just kind of switching my screens here.
Hello, Miss Donna Hoskins.
And
hey.
News for you.
We got Teresa.
Kind of relates to our hot topic for this video.
Teresa's here. Melina Montoya is here. Linda Fugate is here. Hello. Suzanne Taylor saying hello. Hi, Mary. That's Kev Mirth.
Sorry, I'm just
Mary Jane Ellinger is here. Hi, Mary.
Hello, Miss Donna Hoskins.
Sin Forest. Hey, how you doing?
Teresa kind of relates to our.
And Linda Faust is here. Hi, Linda.
Montoya is here. Linda
Hi,
Fugate
Kim.
is here. Hello.
That's Kim Burris.
Taylor saying hello.
Suzanne.
Hi, Mary.
I think I
That's
said
Kev
Suzanne
Mirth.
Taylor, but hello again.
Mary Jane Ellinger.
Susan
here.
Eurout
Hi,
is
Mary.
saying
Hello,
here.
Donna
Hello, Eric.
Hoskins.
Caught your live at the
Sin
beginning.
Forest.
Welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
how you
Susan.
doing?
Jim
Linda
Bennett.
Faust
Hello,
is here.
Jim. Hi,
Melina
Linda.
Montoya is here. Linda
Hi,
Fugate
Kim.
is here. Hello.
That's Kim Burris.
Suzanne Taylor saying
Suzanne.
hello.
Really sorry I can't stay. I'm at her daughter's enjoying the grandkid time.
Susan
Have a wonderful, blessed night. Well, thanks for stopping by, Kim.
At the beginning.
Welcome, Susan.
Jim Bennett.
Hello,
is
Jim.
here.
Hi, Linda.
Montoya is here. Linda
Hi,
Fugate
Kim.
is here.
That's
Hello.
Kim Burris.
Suzanne
Is there an echo?
Suzanne.
Sorry.
Really sorry I
Let me
can't
try
stay.
and
I'm at her daughter's enjoying the
reset this
grandkid time. Susan Eurout
Have a
is
wonderful,
saying
blessed night. Well,
here.
thanks for
Hello,
stopping
Eric.
by,
Caught your
Kim.
live at the beginning.
Welcome, Susan.
Jim Bennett.
Hello,
is here.
Jim.
Hi, Linda. Montoya is here. Linda
Hi,
Fugate
Kim.
is here. Hello.
Kim. Okay, for some reason. Okay, is that better? It's not the phone. Actually, my phone is not even here. It actually has nothing to do with the phone. I don't use my phone when I broadcast anything. I know some people do, but my phone does not work very well with this whole system. So, and the quality of the picture won't come out as great. Okay, so I don't know how that got activated, but the speaker got activated, which is why you heard the echo. Yeah, I don't use a phone. I actually use real cameras when I'm live streaming. My phone doesn't work well with this whole setup, and the picture quality doesn't come out as good. And you will see it's how do you say? It'll be delayed a lot, where you'll see me speaking, and then 5 minutes later you'll actually hear the sound, or you'll see the actual video. So, which is why I don't use the phone. I actually use real video cameras. I got multiples of them, which is why I can give you different angles. I know for some people they have Apple phones that can work. Like you can't just plug in your phone and expect it to be a webcam. No, not on a Samsung. But Apple does have like this app where you can download it, but it's a whole lot of technical stuff. So anyway, I'm off track. So as you can kind of see, I'm starting to put the butterfly, getting it together, but it's not completely done. And I kind of realized that this design wall is not big enough to actually hold the entire butterfly, because there's a chunk of the section or a few blocks right in this middle section that don't quite fit in. And I kept fiddling around with it. And you can kind of see I didn't lay out the bottom section either. But at least you got the top section, and you can kind of see how it's all going to play out. So, yeah. Let's see. Did I freeze up? Huh. Okay. I do have, it took me forever to do these circle blocks, and even then it still didn't come out. Like, my point is way off. If you can see that. Yeah, like this side is way off and it's stretched badly, but this one didn't look too bad. And even if it didn't come out perfect, I was so frustrated with it. Oh, well, let me, where's the other ones? Here it is. So even these smaller ones, like this one wasn't so bad, but what ended up happening was it was a little too, the block came out, the unfinished block came out a little too small, so I had to add these teeny tiny strips on the side just so I could get the block to the correct size and fit it into the quilt. So good thing I had extra of this purple background fabric, and even on these big circle blocks, yeah, I had to do that because it just turned out that the block really shrunk down for whatever reason. So yeah. Let's see. I'd have appliqued that. Well done for sewing it. Well, thank you, Zaza. By the way, hello, Zaza. Only because she held it to the camera, it's going to be gorgeous. Yeah, well, I mean, I figured if I don't point it out, people probably won't notice it, but I still have, I mean, there's a lot of colors and a lot of things going on there, so who knows. Okay. I still do have one more, or actually two more circle blocks to make. So, whoops, I gotta switch the camera. So I do have this guy, the green, which it's F, D, and E. So, yeah. So there's E. This was H, and F and D. I am not so much in love with this small little inner circle part. Yeah, I'm not so crazy about, like, the large wheel was the easier one to put together. I mean, this, you saw me struggle with this. This is the medium, and it's tiny. It was what, 6.5 finished, and this one was 12.5. It was a little easier. Whoops, sorry. It was a little easier to put together because it is a larger block. But this one is 10.5. We'll see if it actually comes out to 10.5, because I think even Tiffany had problems with the blocks not coming out to the right size. I know there was one of them where she said it was a 1/2 inch too small. I think it might be this one. Yep. Then after these blocks, and as you can kind of see behind me, I'm starting to kind of lay out the whole quilt. Mostly I wanted to do that just to make sure that my half square triangles, I mean, I kind of lost track of how many I did. And I just made a bunch of them, and obviously I started putting them up on the wall. But my charcuterie board of half square triangles in fabrics, just wanted to make sure that I had enough and I had a good variety of things. So yeah. Let's see. Whoops. Hey, Kelly. Hi, Deanna. Okay, so let's pull out the green, and Now, I didn't go for exact color matches because, I mean, I don't have Tula fabric. Well, I'm not using Tula fabric. I'll use, let's see, the darker kind of turquoise green. And there's a lime green. This will be perfect for the center. Do I have a smaller piece? I might somewhere. Now, I guess I can use these two, or these two colors. Although this is not enough contrast with that, so I'll use this darker green. Or maybe I can use that. That's a bigger piece. That, I'll use these two. And then I'll go with the yellow. No, I know I have another green here. No, that's a little too green. I need something with a little bit of yellow in it. Or maybe I can just use, yeah, I'll do this. I'll use these as, wait, no. It's kind of a turquoise color. Maybe I'll do this. Trying to match these colors is the most challenging part, especially if I don't have the exact fabric line here. No, I think I will use this. It's like a lime green and then a little bit of a turquoise color. Actually, I should use this. Unfortunately, I don't have any more of it. At least not in here. Let me see if I have. Do I have any in here? I actually might. Ooh, that's pretty. Although not exactly a quite match with this. Maybe this would work. Let's see how that works. So I'll use, let's see how that goes. It's not going to be an exact match, but I'll use this for one of the blades. This will be that color. And then I guess I can use this. It's not exactly a, well, it's close enough for me. So, yeah. And I will use this as my center. That's a pretty close match. Yeah. Okay, let's just go with it. Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And I need 4 of these. So that's with this template. This one is for this. And then I need 4 each of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what is everybody working on tonight? Or are we just watching me? Hopefully I won't mess up with this too much. I've been known to do that on this quilt. Alrighty. So one, two, three. I thought I had one more. I thought I had one more. I guess not. Well, then what I will do is put those back and, ooh, that's a different color. Nope, there it is. Nope, that's a different color. Huh. Okay. Okay, I guess, is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. Then I guess I'm just using this, which is kind of the same shade. Okay, I'll use that for the center. Oh, thank you, Donna. She's saying I got some excellent fabric choices. Okay. So, let's see. I can cut a little small square off of this. Well, let me straighten this out. And, ooh, that's bad. Okay, I'm just going to cut a strip off of here. And I'm going to cut a straight edge. And let's see, I will cut the selvages off there. Da, 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 da. So, whoops, sorry. People are just watching. Okay. And I'm just gonna kind of free cut this. Whoops. Not the best cut job there, but it'll work. And it didn't go all the way through with it. So that's that. 4 pieces of that. And I can trim this down. And while I'm at it, I might as well cut my fabric scraps. Let's see, I'm going to cut this to, what can I get? Okay, I can get a 1.5. So I will cut that down. And I'm just going to deal with these scraps right now. Since I already have everything out, I might as well cut it down to a usable size. Yep. Let's see. Sinforce says, I'm going to try work on hand quilted applique block that I started I think it was 1987. Wow. Supposed to be a cushion cover, so we'll see how it goes, but mostly just watching me. Okay. Well, I know it's pretty late for a lot of you because you might be in the Midwest or on the East Coast. I'm still here on the West Coast where it is just about 7:30. Yeah, it's a little weird because a lot of YouTube quilters, they go on live earlier where it's like 5 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon for us here on the West Coast. I think I might be the only person that goes live this late on a Wednesday. So convenient for me because I'm not interrupting anybody else. But it's inconvenient for those of you on the West Coast again. Or, sorry, on the East Coast because it's pretty late. And I get that. Oh, it's 10:30 where Donna is. And Suzanne Taylor says it's 9:30 here. Okay, well, I guess we're night owls then. There's a pretty bad wrinkle in here, so I'm gonna iron that out. So I was planning to actually have all of this prepped, but as soon as I got home earlier today, I was not feeling good. So I was kind of contemplating on whether or not I was even going to make it to tonight's live. I figured, you know what? If I just do these 2 blocks, I'll be happy with it. And I'm pretty sure that you guys are appreciative that I came on live anyway. So, yeah, my plan originally was to get here or get home from work at about 5, and which I did, but I wasn't feeling so great. So I just laid down, took a little quick, like 45-minute nap, starting to feel a little better. So I said, okay, let's get the camera set up, let's get stuff going, and let's come on live. So that's what I did. I didn't want to spend a whole ton of time cutting fabric, but yeah, life just said, or life had other plans for me. So Kelly says, you and me can hang out on Pacific time all we want there. Okay, Kelly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4 of these. So I am going to cut it. 2, 3. That's a little too big. I think I could. Nah, let's just cut it. Let's see, can I fit it this way? Nope. So I'll cut it here, and this is only a fabric scrap, so I kind of don't care if I get it all oddly shaped. So I'll put that there, and I will turn it and get it cut here. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yeah, I was kind of close to not coming on tonight because I was just really feeling bad. But took a little nap, ate a little something. Now I feel fine. So I said, okay, come on. Let's pull yourself together. Let's get stuff set up and let's get on live. And besides, I really wanted to just get all of these blocks done so that I can spend the weekend putting the, or starting to spend this weekend laying out everything. Okay. You know, if you don't have this rotary cutter, it's something good to have. Especially when you have to cut out curved pieces like this. Oh my gosh. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to have. Okay, then I can deal with that later. This can go back in the pile. Now I need a total of 8 of these. So I will slice it off here. So 4 of each. Oh. This can go in the crumb bin. No, actually I could probably cut another square out of that. So I'll put that there. Can I get a 1.5 out of this? Just barely. We'll see. And hey, Mozilla. Okay, Susan. Yay for us West Coast people. And Zaza says, I have trouble sleeping. Okay. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. She's saying, feel better. Don't overdo it. The flu bug is going around. Yeah, it is. Sad to say. Although I did get... No. Wait, no. I got a booster shot, but I didn't get the flu shot. And let's see. 1. This is another 2, so I can cut it. I will cut it there. Look at you, 2 videos using your shark. I need that today, cutting curves on bowl cozies. Oh. Yeah, you know, I got this like years ago when it first came out. Actually, this was the time when I was in Houston, and it just came out. I actually met Rob Appel, and then he kind of told me that he was telling me, sharing the story that he actually found a vendor that had a knockoff of this, which is how I knew that there was one. And if you saw the video that I did about the 60-degree triangle ruler, there was a short segment where I kind of mentioned that there's this issue that us quilters have, because a lot of people are coming up with knockoff products. And so I mentioned Carolina Moore's video of when she put up, she did a video where she mentions how to identify some of these knockoff products. Well, her video more or less specified quilting rulers. And I gotta admit that I even got fooled by some of the examples that she showed, and which kind of reminded me of the fact that, yeah, Rob Appel, this shark applique cutter. Remember meeting Rob, and he was kind of, I don't know how we got into this topic, but he did say that, yeah, he did find a vendor. Oh, I know why, because I saw something similar. And then there was a vendor there at Houston that was selling it, and it looked very similar to this shark applique cutter. I mean, down to the same color scheme, the same design. It just didn't have that engraving on the handle. I mentioned it to him. He said, yeah, he even saw it. Now, I don't know if he went after them legally, but, you know, just, well, I better close that. It's just, I don't know, something to be aware of. Okay. So, hey, Carissa. Waking up at 3 a.m. every morning for the past week is the pits. Oh, tell me about it. I've been actually getting up at 4, getting out and off to work at 4:30. Oh, thank you guys. Everybody's saying don't push it. But you know what? I was just determined to get this block done this week so I can start putting the entire quilt together. And this, fingers crossed, this is the last pieced block that I have to do. I still have to cut the background pieces, though. And that I know I can do while I organize or piece the different sections together. Sorry, something flew in my mouth. Okay, so there is a bit of news. Sad news, but which kind of correlates to the hot topic question that I put into the chat. So if you type in, let's see, exclamation hot. Whoops. I hope I spelled that right. Is that how you spell it? Is that how I put it? Yep. Okay, so here's the situation. I did finally, I called my mother, kind of because it was her birthday. So I just wished her a happy birthday. Let's just say she wasn't, I mean, she was thankful that it was her birthday and that I called her. But let's just say she did not have good news to tell me. She, last Friday, let's see, I called her on Sunday actually. So last Friday she had a checkup. And the reason why she went into the doctor, I mean, this was something, as most of you would know, and I think myself and Jim are the only two that are exempt from this, she found a lump. And so she scheduled an appointment to get it checked out. Last Friday, they did a biopsy, and it is cancer. So she was telling me that she wasn't sad, she wasn't depressed. Well, she was kind of sad about it, but more so, she was kind of like, she kind of had this thing that she was gonna beat it. So she told me, "Don't worry about it. I'm okay." She's kind of processing it, processing the news. So, but you could kind of tell that she was trying to be like strong for the rest of us, for the rest of the family, for myself and for my brother, so that we don't worry about her. But I mean, she's mom, so we're gonna worry about her anyway. So she was supposed to go back to the doctors. They don't know much details. They want to run more tests for things. They don't know what stage it's at, if it's, or they don't know what kind of treatment plan that they want to do. So she was, I think she goes back tomorrow to do some further testing. But what I wanted to do, and this is kind of timely, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is what my mother was diagnosed with. And I wanted to, I wanted to kind of make something for her. I kind of thought of doing like a quilt with that pink ribbon design, or even the Lori Holt, the the bra or the bikini block. But I wanted, but as I was thinking about that, um, you know, I'm really positive that if I know my mom, she would not appreciate having something, even if it's good intention, or if I had good intentions, she wouldn't necessarily appreciate me making something for her that reminded her that she has cancer. So I said, okay, forget doing the pink ribbon block. What is something else that I could kind of just make a quilt or something for her? So um started contemplating it. I don't know if I'm gonna do this, but what am I doing? Kind of considered the idea that if I wanted to do a quilt block, or put together a quilt where different people can actually participate in it. I was trying to think of something that, and then even pose it out to all of you. If you want to participate, you would maybe sew some kind of a quilting unit, or send in, like, for example, if you want to do if we were to do something using half square triangles, like a star block or some sort. Um, I was just kind of brainstorming, well, what could we do? So that's kind of where my question really is. Um, the only thing I could think of is doing like a half square triangle, but is there something else? Maybe, I don't know if anybody else has an idea. But I wanted to open it up to people. Not saying, I mean, it's still kind of in the idea phase. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do this. I was kind of thinking, like, if we do half square triangles with red, or not red, but of like purple and white, or different shades of purple, because that is actually my mother's favorite color. Definitely not anything with pink, because again, it'll just remind her about it. But I don't know if anybody has any ideas of a quilting block where everybody just makes a piece of it and then we put it all together. The other thing I was kind of thinking of, maybe just doing like I don't know, 4-patch, and then putting it or laying it out like an Irish chain quilt. Or I even thought of doing a Dresden, where people all you got to do is just cut a Dresden blade, send it in, and then I'll put the whole Dresden together. I think that's what I was kind of leaning towards, but I don't know if somebody has another idea. And if we do, or if I do choose to make a Dresden, I would kind of do it in a design where it's like a sunflower, because sunflowers actually can absorb radiation, which is an interesting fact that I learned. And the fact is that my mother, her actual favorite flower is the orchid. What is it, Dendrobium orchid? I think that's what they call it. But she likes sunflowers too. And when you look at a sunflower, you just can't help but smile. Or when you think of sunflowers, they look bright, they look cheerful. So I figured, I know she likes sunflowers, so why not make a Dresden with all yellow or different shades of yellow, and then we'll just arrange it on a quilt like it's a sunflower. So, but I don't know. I wanted to just kind of put it out there. If people have ideas, I'm open. But I just wanted to make something for Mom, just to let her, or just to give her a little comfort in case she has to go through chemo, do radiation. I hope she doesn't have to do radiation. But it's just something to just kind of say, okay, we'll go through this together. Okay. Gosh, this tiny piece is so... Why is it that the smaller it gets, the harder it gets? It should be the easier. You would think it would be easier. Okay. Maybe have each person send you a 12.5-inch unfinished block. Okay. What about heartstrings? Everybody makes a heart, and the fabric it's made out of is all some strings. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Could make a log cabin block with a heart in the center. Okay. If we all made string hearts and sent them to you, you could connect them like an Irish chain with the string hearts in the middle. Okay. Okay, Mozilla likes the sunflower idea. Hey, Katie. Sunflowers are the state flower of Missouri? Really? Oh. How cool is that? They always find the sun. Well, I guess that's why we call them sunflowers. Let's see. Some things that I was kind of considering, though, is just by experience of participating in other like block swaps and what do you call round robins. I know that even if you say make a, I don't know, 9-inch finished block, everybody's, you would think that 9 inches is 9 inches is 9 inches, and it's a standard across the board. But, you might say 9 inches, but then some of them might come out like 9 1/4, 9 1/2. And it's not the fault of the person who made the block. It's just everybody has a different 1/4 inch. So I was kind of thinking more of in the lines of like if everybody just kind of creates one piece of the block, and then when I get it, or if they send it in, you know, I can kind of either square it up, or trim it down, or build it up. Which is why I was kind of thinking of doing, again, a Dresden blade where everybody just cuts out a Dresden blade and sends it in, or some kind of like half square triangle unit where I tell them, okay, it needs to be 3 inches, but then we're actually going to trim it down to 2.5 or something like that. So, but I'm just thinking out loud here. Yeah, so not necessarily like a finished block. Something like a work in progress type of thing would be easier to assemble into a quilt. Ah, Kansas. Thank you, Mary. So that's just an idea that I'm thinking about. Whether or not I'm actually going to do it, to be determined. But I don't know. I think she wouldn't. I think mom would appreciate having a quilt, and if I tell her it's from all of you guys, she definitely would be touched. I did give her a quilt. Well, she asked me to make a queen size quilt for her years ago, and she wanted it in like a Asian silk kind of kimono fabric, and so I did do that quilt. Gave it to her for Christmas, and holy cow, she just totally enjoyed that quilt. Well, it's something she wanted, so why wouldn't she enjoy it, right? But you know, that quilt is on her bed right now. It's being very well loved and used. So I think she would appreciate something to just kind of cheer her up. Okay. But again, nothing set in stone yet. So if you got ideas, you can share it with me. You can send me an email about it. And let me get or if you got pictures of other projects or block ideas that we could do as a group, I'm open. Nothing set in stone yet, but I am kind of leaning towards doing some kind of Dresden. If people want to just send in one Dresden blade in a yellow color, again, don't act on that just yet, but that's what I'm thinking. And if we do, or if I do decide to kind of go ahead with this project, you will definitely know. Okay. Okay, that center is gonna be totally off, but that's okay. Let's see. What about a lap quilt to take with her? You know, she likes big quilts. Like I did make a small lap quilt for her before that she doesn't use it though. Well, there's a reason why she doesn't use it. It's because it's my dad's work. It was made out of my dad's work uniform, so she kind of considers that a special quilt that she wants to just cherish and not really use, which I'm fine with. But whenever she asks for a quilt, she wants a big king or queen size. I don't necessarily want to do another queen size quilt for her. I might consider doing a lap quilt. That way she can kind of carry it with her when she goes to her doctor's appointments or if she's going for treatment of some sort. But yeah, again, we don't know what the treatment plan is for her, if she's going to do chemo or if she's going to just do some kind of radiation therapy. It would be kind of cool if she does go with the radiation therapy that we do a sunflower, because again, sunflowers can actually absorb radiation. So I guess the symbolism of that would be more appropriate. Okay. So, but yeah, mom's, you know, she's being strong about it. She's trying to be positive. And the one thing she did say was, my brothers were planning on taking her to Japan in October next month, actually, when I'll actually be in Houston at the same time. But, you know, they were planning on this trip for a couple of months now. And one thing my mom said is no matter what, she is going on this trip. Because this will be the first time she's heading back to Japan in almost, a number of years now. And I did not sew that curve very well. Yeah, it's been a while since she's been back to Japan, and this might be her final time where she is going, so. Donna says, I have several different Dresden rulers, different degrees, rounded bottoms, all sizes, so please give dimensions. Okay. Yeah, that's something I'll have to also consider. If it is a Dresden or whatever black or whatever I end up doing or decide to do, it'll be, I'll tell you specifically which brand, if you have it, or give you ideas, or maybe even provide a paper template that people can download. But yeah, again, nothing's really set in stone, so. But those are just ideas that I'm tossing around. Okay. Oh, this will be weird. Well, that's weird. This piece is too big. Maybe I just stretched it a little too much. I probably stretched it. Wait, is that even the right piece? F, D, D, E. Yeah, F, D, D. Yep, that's E. Okay, well, maybe I just stretched it. Okay. Good for Mom that she's going away. Yeah, yeah, she hasn't been back to Japan in over 10 years, I think. Wow, gosh, when was the last time she went back? Whenever she does go back to Japan, of course, she was born and raised in Japan. But whenever she does go back, she's not particularly close to her family. So I've actually never met any of my relatives on my dad's side of the family. So, or sorry, on my mom's side of the family. Hello. And well, she had a rough upbringing, which is why she was, before growing up, she was never excited to go back to Japan. In fact, she never wanted to go back to Japan. And she had a rough upbringing. She was never close to her relatives, and she never wanted to deal with them. So, I never met my relatives on her side of the family. I know I know they exist, but there's a lot of backstory to this that I'm not really saying. And to tell you the truth, I don't know much about, because it was always a painful topic for my mom to discuss with us. But, yeah, she was never close to her family. Let's just put it that way. Okay, I think this template is off. It's either that or I'm stretching it way too big. Okay. Oh, hey, Remo. Thank you, Delia. Thank you, Remo. They're saying prayer warriors, let's go. Oh, make her a quilt jacket. Okay. I'd have to learn how to sew a quilt jacket. That would, yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know if she would actually wear it, though. You know, when it comes to clothing, my mom's very particular about stuff. Yeah. One of my brother's ex-girlfriends now, you know, she bought her a very expensive dress. I think it was like a Gucci dress that actually fit her. But she never wore it. Why? Because she prefers the the bargain bin at Goodwill. Which there's nothing wrong with. I mean, hey, I found some pretty good stuff at Goodwill sometimes too. So I am not embarrassed to shop there for clothes. Well, partially because I can never find my size in some stores too. Oh, before I forget, and I'm glad. Don't forget that on Saturday, I will be joining Katie, the Greenland Quilter, on her channel on a YouTube live session. So you can check out her channel, and we'll be sewing together and just talking like we normally do. I'm probably going to be working on this quilt, though, to be quite honest. Hopefully, well, after tonight, I'll get all the blocks done, and then I can start kind of piecing the sections together. So, so Mary is asking, how did she end up in Hawaii? Good story. So she wanted to leave Japan, and believe it or not, she had an arranged marriage with my dad. When her and my father, how they met was actually through I guess a service. So my mom actually sent my father through this dating service, I guess is how you would call it. She gave a picture and they sent it to my dad, who was living in Hawaii. So this picture, kind of, if you know about picture brides, that's kind of what the situation is. So my mom sent in a picture. My dad responded, because he, of course, he wanted to get married. He wanted to find a wife, so he responded to it. She then traveled to Hawaii. She was more or less looking for a way to leave Japan once and for all, because that's how bad the situation for her was. So as soon as she got word that my father was interested, she was she was gone. And she moved to Hawaii. And of course, my dad and my mom met for the first time in person. And when my dad introduced her to his sisters, my aunts all agreed, yeah, she would be a good match for you. And so that's how they got married. And the rest is, as they say, is history. So, I know I dropped it. Where is it? Sorry, I'm just looking for my little scrap piece. Okay, well, let's just grab a crumb. So, I do know that for a fact. Or I do know that story for a fact. My mom has shared that story because she was more or less proud of the fact that she left Japan. And again, she never looked back. And again, we never met our family on that side of the, or our relatives on that side of the family. So, interesting story. One that is painful, but yeah. Okay, so this is supposed to be I believe these are supposed to be 5.5. Let's see if they actually do measure 5.5. Good thing I have a 5.5 ruler. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna add strips to this. Okay, it's actually just on one side. Turned it the wrong way. So Sunflower could be used in a tote to carry whatever she needs. Drink, lap quilt, something to read. Huh. That's true. I should turn it this way. Okay, it's funny, it's short on this edge. This one's not too, well, I shouldn't say that. This one's pretty short. Let's go a little more. No. This one I do have to sew on all four sides. Whoa, that's pretty bad. You know what? I should do it like that. On second thought, I'm not going to trim that one just yet. Okay, so this is where I'm going to kind of cheat my way, because same thing happened on the other circle blocks where I came up a little bit, actually almost half an inch short. So maybe I don't know if the template's wrong or what, but here's what I do. I'm just going to cut a strip. This is about 1.5 inches, and put that there for now. I'm just going to sew a strip. Let's see. I think it was on these, it was just this edge, but on this one's pretty bad. So I'm going to sew a strip on both edges, and then we'll trim it down. Kind of a cheater method of doing all of this, just to make it the right size. And is this long enough? Just barely. No, not long enough. Wait, is this the right end? Yeah. Whoops. Is that a Quilter Select rotary cutter? Yes, it is. It most certainly is. Started to use this. I like the feel of it. Yeah, I really do like this Quilter Select rotary cutter because it's weighted. It feels good in my hand. And, you know, if you haven't tried a weighted rotary cutter, you should give it a try because it is well worth the money. And I am definitely, I mean, this one was quite expensive, but for me, in my opinion, I think it is very well worth it. Whoops. I'm gonna sew across the top here. So I can, let's press this back. Yep, that's much better. So I will trim this little bit off here, and then we'll trim all of this here. Ta-da! Let's see. That's why it's called a coping strip. Yes, it is. We cope with the shortage. So I think, yep, so it was that side. Da, 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 da. So if your blocks come out ever so slightly, maybe about a quarter to a half, no. Yeah, I guess a quarter to a half an inch smaller. This is a little trick that you can do. I think my thread broke. Yep. Just cut a strip and sew it to the side of the block. Okay, that time I heard the bobbin. Yep. Oh, thread is all tangled under there. Let's see what is going on with this bobbin. There. That's why it got out. There we go. And we'll thread that under. And we'll try it again. Press this one. There, that one's good. Okay, this one's going to be a challenge. Because this is all sorts of wonky. But we will make this one work. So wow, Mid-Atlantic at 126 people do a shop hop. Wow, that's a lot. That is crazy. Your industrial machine doesn't have an up-down. No. So a lot of the conveniences that you have on your regular domestic machines do not come on these industrial machines. So things like needle up down, needle threaders. I'm even lucky that this machine has a back stitch, because a lot of industrial machines don't have that feature. Thread cutter, no. The feed dogs do not drop down, so I can't do free motion quilt. Well, I can do free motion quilting, but it's not designed to do so. What else does it not have? It doesn't have like 10 million different decorative stitches. So it's really just a basic straight stitch without the bells and whistles of all the other conveniences that you do have with some of your other domestic machines. Yep, so that's the drawback of an industrial machine is, again, you don't get those features. What you do get, though, number one, no maintenance, or very, very low maintenance and very easy upkeep. Like, I haven't taken this machine to get serviced in almost 7 years now, since I got it, basically. And even the maintenance work, you can kind of just do it on your own. So long as you keep the machine clean, free of lint, and keep it well oiled. I mean, it's a workhorse. You can just go on and on and on forever. Or you can just do the maintenance yourself. So these machines are very easy to take apart, surprisingly, and put back together. So much so that, you really don't have maintenance workers doing too much on these particular machines. Yeah. Again, the industrial machines like this are just kind of more, they're built for factory workers. So can you imagine, well, I'm pretty sure you guys can imagine sewing for 8 hours, just doing the same stitches over and over and over and over. That's what these machines really do in the factory. So it's not like where we're doing embroidery work, we're doing free motion quilting, all these other things. Industrial machines are designed to do one thing and one thing only. Not like some of our domestic machines where they come with an embroidery attachment, they come with, the decorative stitches. We're sewing fashion. We're sewing quilts. We're sewing home decor kind of thing with different fabrics. Yeah, industrial machines are not designed to handle all of that. Again, they only do one thing and one thing only, but it does it really well. Okay, so I can then start putting the block together. And I didn't cut enough pieces. Huh. Okay. Yeah, this piece is going to give me a problem. But we will make it work. So I'm just going to do this one block. I thought I had... don't know how to count. I thought I had enough for 2 blocks, but I guess I gotta make 8 more. I'll grab that later. Okay, and we will sew this. And I can already tell that this block is going to be another wonky one, but I'm okay with that. Oh, 126 stores in a shop hop. Okay, well, still, that's quite a lot. Let's sew. This will work. I'm just going to sew a crumb piece together. Let me press this seam open. I've been pressing all of my seams, well, most of my seams open on this quilt, primarily because the directions or the pattern says to do so. Okay, and we'll see how this block comes out. And I don't know what happened to my scrap piece. So I'm just going to grab something. There we go. Okay. It's good enough for me. Yeah, that center is a tricky one, but let me press it, see if it comes out any better. And get rid of the threads there. What time is it? 8:34. Ooh, a little bit over. Okay, there's one, and I will trim it down. Or at least straighten out the edges. Okay, not my best work, but I'll take it. Yeah. All right, so yeah, the points are off, but you know what? At least you can tell it's a circular shape. So yeah, needs a little work, but I think the template might not be correct. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, guys. So nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with wonky. Well, thank you, Jim. All right, so I can see some people are signing off. So someone said earlier, or maybe in the last video, if you don't like it, applique over it. I think I said that. Maybe I should listen to my own advice. But kind of happy with how these colors came out, though. I will say that. Oh, thank you, Carissa. You just validated my point. It will work. Well, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, I'm hoping that this block just gets lost in the massive color scheme that's going to be part of this quilt. So, yeah. All right, guys. That'll be it for tonight. I will continue on, well, sometime, maybe tomorrow night, I will do the second block and see if that one comes out better. Then don't forget, Saturday, I will be joining Katie of the Greenland Quilter on her channel. So you can join us on a live session. And then I will probably be working and putting the different sections of this quilt together. So hopefully I'll get that done this week. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Those blocks are difficult and it will be okay. Well, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for the encouragement. So, yeah. Thank you for joining me here tonight. Have a great rest of your week. Again, see you Saturday on the Greenland Quilters channel. And, well, until then, let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Mwah. Bye for now. And I will definitely know if this whole project for Mom goes through. So be on the lookout for that. All right. Take care.